Live. You are live. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Facebook family. Hey, YouTube family. Jump on in. Jump on in. We'll give the people a few more minutes to hop on. Let's see, has it popped up on my timeline yet? Nobody's on yet. Nobody's on yet.
More minutes to hop on.
Yep. Yet.
Nobody's on yet. Nobody's on yet.
You started your watch party.
Yep.
Hey, Jasmine. Thank you for coming in. Come on in. We're waiting on everybody to get here. Get here and celebrate this end of year last show for the year. Please like, share, go to the YouTube channel Heads Up Mental Clarity and subscribe.
Last show for the year. I don't know what to do with my hair.
I hear an echo.
Oh, let me turn it down. That's me, girl. That's me.
Okay, cool. That's better. All right, all right, all right. Come on in, come on in. We have 4 viewers so far. How you guys doing? Welcome to Heads Up Mental Clarity with Michelle and Stephanie. Great, great. We crack us up. Oh, come on in the room. Come on in. Come on in so that you can enjoy us. Oh, yes. And so you can enjoy and share with us our last live for the year. Jasmine Smith. Jasmine, please inbox me your address. Jasmine was our first person on for the last episode of the year. Yes. 2021, the next time you guys see us or we see you or hear you or see your comments. So please, Jasmine, thank you for tuning in. We have a special gift for you. Please stay throughout the duration of the live. It's an hour, and we're going to be sharing some things with you. So you inbox me, please, your address. Inbox me your address. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can go ahead and get started. I am Michelle Bird. This is Heads Up Mental Clarity. Welcome. We are here to talk to you today about New Year, New You. And this is my best sister friend, Stephanie Stephens. Hello. Thank you guys for coming in.
Hey.
Right? How do you start the end of the year?
The same way we started it. Hey, everybody.
I know.
Thank you for sharing this journey with us. 2020 has been something amazing, right?
I know, right?
Has been amazing year.
A lot of lessons, a lot of aha moments, a lot of intentions, a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of things going on. I don't know if you meant for stuff that made you a little darker.
Dark.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to get this glare off my eyes, but as long as I don't have to read anything, I think I'm good. I'm not going to keep my glasses on.
Yeah, and we understand if you got to put them back on to read something.
I know.
Yeah, so 2020 has been 2020. It's been just that. I've had some revelations.
A lot of clarity.
A lot of clarity. Yes, hence the name Heads Up Mental Clarity. A lot of clarity in 2020. A lot of other things, but there's certainly some things for me to celebrate.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Oh,
even in the struggle, even in the uncomfortable positions or things.
Mhm.
definitely some stuff to be thankful and grateful for. And I'm
Mhm.
ending out this year with 21 days of gratefulness, and just thinking about daily what I am grateful for. So it's a group of us that are doing the 21 day of gratefulness. The first 7 days is the word grateful and identifying and defining what that is and writing that down for a week. This week is the second week, and we're doing the word kindness and then listing 5 things every day that you're grateful for. So I'm leaving this year in gratefulness.
Mhm.
Yeah. But today, you guys, we are going to be talking about New Year, New You. What do you do coming up on this new year? How do you approach this? Because this 2020 has left some of us unsettled
Mhm.
because of some things going on.
Mhm.
It's just been some new awakenings too for me.
Yeah. My prayer is that that 2020 has also inspired people to well, yes, I'll use the word inspired. Inspired us to slow down, inspired us to be more aware of who we are and what we are.
Mhm.
I hope that in the months that we have been in sharing weekly and then bi-weekly, that you have been encouraged to be more mindful or aware of what you're doing, how you're doing it, what's going on in your mental body, what's going on in your physical body, what's going on with the people around you, how
Mhm.
how to best support them and support yourself, and I wish that I could have taken a poll to see what people have done with some of the information and how it has
Ooh,
um
that's good.
impacted your lives. But I'm going to just imagine for myself, because I'm a great creator, that it has done exactly what it is supposed to do, and that you are walking in this amazing 2020 space of I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I remember this, I remember that. I remember when we first started, we were talking about anxiety and how so many people could relate to anxiety and relate to that feeling and relate to the grounding technique, which was phenomenal.
Yes.
Um, and so I hope that my desire is that you took away something from the 2020s, the visits that we've brought to you, because even if you just take one thing into 2021, I know if you took one thing from one segment from 20 to 21, you are going to have so much benefit from it. Just the one thing, just grounding. Let's just take grounding or self-care. Like do
Yeah,
self,
and you
self-care is
know,
huge.
now that you say that, it makes me think. Drop it in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
If one thing that has been helpful for you, over the course of this, what June, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and
Mm-hmm.
18, 19 episodes that we've been doing this. If you've gotten any, just drop in the comments what you've gotten. Lisa say, "Hey, my inspiration sisters, my
Hey,
inspirational."
Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of drop it, and this is a good segue. Drop it in the comments, but this is a good segue, Steph, into talking about the topics, or just briefly recapping, if you will, on the topics that we've covered so far.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I was telling Stephanie today, it's like writing in your journal, and I mean in your resume, writing out everything you've done. And when you write it down, it's like, wow, I didn't realize that we had done this
Mm-hmm.
much or had these many episodes that we've covered. We started off in June. With surviving trauma. We were doing weekly at that time. So we did surviving trauma 2 weeks in a row, part one and part two. Denial and stigma of mental health. And then we also covered trauma and PTSD. So we covered that in June. Is there anything you want to say about those, or do you want I can just go briefly through each month of the things that we've covered?
You can go briefly through each month, and I'll just say what I'm going to say
Because
because
we're
it
gonna
applies to all of them.
right. Right. July, we talked about parenting during a pandemic, and we did part one and part two. That was 2 weeks of that. Dementia Matters of the Mind. We did that, and I believe we did 2 parts to that as well. We did it in July, and then we carried over into August. August, we did Dementia Matters of the Mind Part 2, and then Addictive Behaviors Part 1. And that's when we dropped to twice a month as opposed to every single week. In September, we did Addictive Behaviors Part 2, Automated Negative Thoughts, and Seasonal Affective Disorder, where we covered those topics. October, we covered self-care, and then manage that dangerous emotion. We talked about anger and how it can be dangerous if you mismanage that, right? If you don't manage it correctly. And then November, we talked about holiday blues. Yikes, holiday blues. In November, and we only had 1 segment in November. And then in December, we talked about rejection. What's the connection? That was our last episode that we topic we talked about 2 weeks ago. And so today we are here to wind it up, to sum it all up for you with new year, new you, new beginnings, moving forward and healing. And so we're here to talk to you about that. Steph has some things that she has kind of would like to share. I have some things that I like to share, and please drop your comments in the chat because we want you guys to share as well. If there's anybody that is not on here that you know is generally on here, go ahead and drop them a text message or something and let them know they're missing out. They're missing out. We've already been on 11 minutes and 40 seconds. So come on in. Okay. Go ahead, Seth. Hey, Mom. Hey, Max. Hey, Antoine. Hey, Monique. Monique says, hey, y'all. Hey, so many little things I've put in my pocket. Monique says, change your language. Self-care is necessary. Doing a self-inventory, breathing, good stuff, guys. Thank you, Monique. Thank you so much. Thank you all for watching. Please, what Monique is doing is dropping in the comments what she's gotten from these topics. And if it's 1 thing, if it's 5 things, whatever it is, go ahead and drop it in the comments section.
Absolutely. Go ahead. So this morning in my meditation, one of the things that I thought about for the audience and even my clients that I had to see this week, Michelle, you gave me a really great idea about the New Year's cards. And one of the things that came to me is like healing the mental body is not easy, and it is just not for the faint of heart. And that it takes courage and tenacity and determination that is so much greater than you could even imagine. Because most times when people are struggling or experiencing mental breakdown, mental debilitation, and being stuck, the natural tendency is to go back to the behaviors of family, the behaviors of society, the behaviors of our community, the behaviors of religion, go back to behaviors that obviously have not worked because we're here. And it is a sign that your highest self is saying, we want to do something different. And how do we do something different? There is I think it's Plato's, I think it's Plato's cave, the story of the cave, when one person left the cave and went out to the world and went and seen everything, and then came back into the cave, and then the people were like, we're not going out there. We're not going out there. And they dared the person who went out there to go back out there. But when he came back, he wanted to let them know that all the things that they were naming from the shadow was really something bigger than what they could see in the midst of their hurt, or in the midst of being in the cave. What you see in the cave is so different than what's on the outside of the cave, but it is very difficult. And I commend anyone who decides that I just want to do something different with my life, my mental health. I want to feel better. I want to think better. I want to think different. I want to be different. I just want to salute you and celebrate you, because mental health change, just like body change, but I feel mental health change is the absolute hardest, because people, go into a behavior so well and they do it for such a long time, and then all of a sudden they go right back into a behavior all over again. And so there's the guilt, the shame, and the embarrassment of that cycle. And so I just want to say, because I don't want it to come across that it's such an easy thing to do. Just go talk to your
Right.
therapist. Like, yeah, no, because even when you go talk to your therapist, you got to live this journey out, and it's difficult. And for those who have taken up the mantle to change the trajectory of their mental health, or to change the trajectory of their lifestyle or their thought process,
Mhm.
I deep bow to you, because it is not easy. It is extremely challenging, but you can do it. You can
Yeah.
do it. You can do it. And so um I just wanted to emphasize that, and emphasize that I won't ever stop running the race with you, even if we're not together, even apart. You are always in my prayers and my thoughts. This audience and any other audience that I am held responsible for, to let you know that I am so proud of all of you for, choosing to even watch this show, choosing to even
Yes.
to decide that there was something in this for you or somebody that you know.
Mhm.
Because this journey right here, this mental health journey in our community, this is
Yes.
a big, this is big. It's big, and it's going to get bigger, because life is going to be very different from what we know.
So
And
what we do, it's a new norm today.
it
It's a
is,
new norm today.
but it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yes.
I mean, what I said was hard and it was true, but it's exciting because we ain't never been where we're going. And that's
Exactly.
exciting. That is
Exactly.
exciting. What would it be for me to be okay? That life.
Mhm.
I'm
And I
about
think
that
the
life.
thing too, I think the thing which could be the hardest thing, but the most necessary thing is to surrender to the process, right? I think it's tough anyway, but it's tougher when you fight and buck against it. You know, when you
Mhm.
come into an awareness that you want to do something different. And I am convinced that all of you that are on here have come to that awareness where you want the information so you can begin to do something different, learn something new, and take a different route. When you decide to do that, then don't fight the process, right? You are courageous. You can do it. It can be done. So don't fight the process. Just trudge right ahead in it. And I also want to commend all of you who are on here, but not just on here, but who have decided, Heads Up Mental Clarity, the first thing was a new Facebook group. And
Mhm.
people started to join that because life was difficult, right? And life has been life all the time, but we had some added things in that, and with the COVID and things like that. So I want to commend all the people who decided in the very beginning to be a part of the Heads Up Mental Clarity Facebook group, and then followed us over to the live for YouTube and Facebook. But like you said, Stephanie, I just want to say, don't fight the process, right?
Mhm.
Stay in it, get support. We're here. We don't plan to go anywhere.
Right.
We don't plan to go anywhere. We're still going to be here. Um, Go ahead. I just wanted to kind of drop that. Hi, Monetta, how are you? Brooks, Max says, let me see somebody's notes. We asked to drop in the comment what what you've learned, or what you've gotten, or your takeaways. Max says, let me see somebody's notes. Okay. Nope, we can't let you cheat, because what I got might not be what you got. So let us know, drop it in the comments what you've gotten from, or your takeaways from these topics that we've been talking about.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Steph. I want to
Oh,
drop.
really? That was all that I wanted to just say, because life is going to happen. You're about to be around family. And so the challenges of all the hard work that is done is real. Um, but,
Mhm.
uh, but it's worth the struggle. It's worth getting back up on your feet and doing it again. And if you got to do it again and again and again, just don't give in, don't give up, but
Yeah.
just keep getting up and doing it again, and becoming more wise, and ask for, the assistance that you need. Be open to having the support that you need. And
Mhm.
just,
Yeah.
my thing is like, enjoy, celebrate all the victories that you're getting ready to go into 2021.
I
But
know. I'm
um
excited.
I am too. I'm super excited. I'm excited about 2020. It's been it. it was intended to be hard. Was There's just a scripture that says that what's, I don't know if it's a scripture, but the saying is, what Satan meant for evil, God makes for good.
Mhm.
And that has been my experience for 2020. And
Yeah.
so I just, my desire is that everybody would find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow today,
Yes.
at this
Yeah.
moment, that is there, that you, if you see it, you can have that pot of gold. And just to stay with it, because I sometimes I just believe that people do not understand the challenge that it takes
Yeah.
to
Just hang in there.
change a paradigm and to heal mental health, to heal any struggle. But we as people of color, we have so much trauma, and that is, it's just a lot
Yeah.
of work that we have to do. And I
Yeah.
just want us to be encouraged and to keep moving forward and to not give up, because 2021 is going to be phenomenal.
Amazing. It is going, and I don't know. I feel like, and I know it's the Christmas holiday, but this is not why I have this feeling, but I feel like a kid anticipating Christmas.
Hmm.
But today it's not me anticipating Christmas and the gifts. It's anticipating the next year.
Hmm.
You and I, we've been through it like everybody else. We've been through the ups and downs. We've been through talking to the therapist. We've been through talking to each other and processing, and I don't know, if you could say the same, but it just seemed like the things that we've processed through this journey this year has been next level. Has been
Yeah.
It's been next level. And so it's
Mm.
exciting. So I'm like, oh, I'm so giddy. I'm excited about what is to come. What is to come. And I have to be honest, I've learned a lot of things. I've had some revelations and things like that. But I think I am too excited to move on from 2020. And
Mhm.
I don't know what's to come with COVID or any of that.
Mhm.
But what I do know is, for me, um, it hasn't stopped production, if you will.
Mhm.
And I think that I'm excited about how I watch people and how they shift in life instead of
Mhm.
stopping it because of COVID, but they
Mhm.
shift it to do, whatever it is.
Mhm.
If it's to start an entrepreneurship because you got laid off or the job let you go or whatever it
Mhm.
is, I'm excited about the shift that I've seen in people
Mhm.
instead of them stopping in the
Mhm.
mental health field as well.
Yes.
People
Mhm.
reaching out. I know there's still a stigma out there, but people reaching out, like
Right.
wanting to know more, wanting more support. Lisa, and I'm gonna just read this really quick. Lisa said, I'm just gonna say I truly thank you, ladies, for helping me to keep my freedom. Explanation points. It's been a rough year and I have had to regroup several times. Y'all just don't know. Kudos to you both. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank
Thank you.
you,
Thank you.
Lisa.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Just know that when we help you, we help ourselves. When we help the
Absolutely.
audience, we
Teach
help
that
each
which you
other.
most need to learn. Always.
Yes, always. There's not a time that I am not with a client or a family member or a friend or whomever that I am talking to that I am not getting a lesson as well. So, I'm pointing at you because I'm helping you, but I got three fingers pointing
The
back at
point
me
in me.
to
Mhm.
help me, so there's not a time. And that's what growth is all about. Um, Antoine said, clarifying on my comment, I created a mental chain for myself, thinking I had to be there for everyone and everything, but I don't. I can sit down and just do nothing because it relaxes me. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. You can sit down and do nothing because it relaxes you. You
Mhm.
should sit down and do nothing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We
That's the
cannot
best.
pour from an
We got
empty
to
glass.
charge our phones, but we don't think we have to charge ourselves.
Right? And we'll
Mhm.
charge them too, because God forbid it dies. It's like the world is over, but we won't charge ourselves. And I'll tell you something, and if you don't do it, your body will do it for you. How about that? If you
Yeah.
do
We
not
don't
do
want
it, your
that.
body will do it for you. Right?
Mhm.
Stuff, and I'll share with you guys out there that on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, I slept all day.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a movie. I fell asleep. I woke back up, probably in the middle of the movie, rewind to where I left off, finished watching it, and I went back to sleep. And I did this all day until 9 o'clock. And I felt good. And then I got up and I took a shower and I went to bed and I watched another movie. And it felt really good to just relax. You cannot pour from an empty vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And even as we're saying to you guys today, sometimes we do it and that's how we know, and we got to recharge. Mm-hmm. And that was, and it was like, I didn't have anything in me to encourage me, inspire me, make me get up and move and do anything. And I had stuff to do, but I needed that regroup. It's like, go. And I do also have this thing where if my mind tells me to stop, I stop. I can be doing case notes. I can be doing a call, whatever it is I'm doing. When I finish that one thing, not the whole thing, but just that one fraction of it, if my brain says stop, I stop.
Yeah.
Learn to just stop. I'll stop in the middle of it. Like, I don't have any more to give. Because you cannot pour from an empty vessel. So you are so right, Antoine. Hey, Melaine. Hey, Sharita. Thank you guys for chiming in with us.
Hey, everybody.
Share, like, comment on what is a takeaway or two for you from the topics since June when we started this. So yeah, please relax. Please listen to your body.
Yeah. And have fun. Like, even like these next 2 weeks, my desire for, I'm doing it myself. Everybody's like, are you finished your Christmas shopping? I was like, what's that? Right. I got some stuff, but I refuse to buy into that vibration. I don't want it. Yeah. I don't. I can choose it, but I literally just don't. I don't want it. I do not want to be in that frequency right now on my journey. And so I'm really moving at my own pace. I had bought something for my granddaughter that was supposed to be broken up and then wrapped individually, and I explained that to the people that I live with. But when I woke up the other day, everything was wrapped, not wrapped the way I wanted it, but it was wrapped. And I was just like, okay. And so it is. That's the way it's supposed to be. Right. And so I'm just like so cool with it. I was scaring myself because what I had to decide is there's a different vibration there, because everybody ain't got gifts and everybody's not able to shop for a gift. So that's not everybody's story. So I've just decided this holiday and for the rest of my days on this planet, I'm going to choose my vibration. I'm going to choose the energy that I want to move in and unapologetically decide the energy that I want to bring and give. So Antoine, it's like magic. And I think abundance, not money, abundance of rest comes in that. Abundance of peace comes in that. Yes. Abundance of awareness comes in that. Yeah. Because I know metaphysically in the body does something different when we decide not to stress and to relax and to say, hey, okay, all is well, because guess what? All is well. So
what do we tell the client? What can you control? What can you control right now? What can you control right now? And so if that's not your thing, if that's not your thing, that's not your thing. And I think that people are getting more and more free of expectations of other people and society saying what you should be doing right now. I know I am. I'm doing what I should be doing right now. And I love so much used to say, don't tell me anything about if you were me, because if you were me, you would be doing what I'm doing, because you would be me. Because you would be me. So I don't want to hear it. Well, if I were you, I would nope. If you were me, you would be doing what I'm doing right now, because you would be me. And so I'm excited about because what it's done for me and in this season of Christmas season and holiday is to think more practical. To think more practical first, and second off, I don't feel because I do like giving people, but it's more practical now in that I don't have to find this big extravagant thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
have to spend this extravagant money, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to give it to you on Christmas. How about that?
That's my thing. That whole stress. I'm working on Christmas, but um, that's my thing too. Is that well, Michelle and I had these little side conversations. Like, ooh, ooh, nobody gets to tell me when I get to celebrate Christmas, whatever that is.
Right.
Like, why do I have to
Celebrate Christ
celebrate that?
every single day.
Right, every day.
Every day. So
Every day.
the
And what I tell
idea,
my kids is that this Christmas stuff don't even make sense to me.
right,
I'm a thinker. It's
right.
never made sense to me. My ex-husband and I both used to say, why am I buying you gifts? Why
I
am I
buy
buying
all
you
year long.
a gift? I should buy you a gift on your birthday.
And
Why
give
am I
Christ
buying
gifts
you a
on
gift?
it, right?
Exactly. But I
Yeah.
mean, it is what it is. And I gotta, my when in Rome, do as the Romans, unfortunately, fortunately for my children and grandchildren. But it's just been a different energy today
Yeah.
with all the things that we have experienced, the impact that this coronavirus has had on us mentally, physically, financially.
Yes. And that's
And
the part I mean, like the expectation to do all of that with all of these things going on. Like be practical, do what you want to do,
do what
and
you
not what
want.
people
We give you
expect you
permission.
to do. Do what
Do
you
what
want
you
to do.
want. Do
And
what you
I
want
want
to
to
do.
shop. I want to, first of all, not leave my home and shop. And I want to do it practically. And I wanted to do it in a practical way. And it doesn't have to be that particular day. It
Right.
is great. I love the lights. I love the
I
season
love lights.
light. I
Love lights.
love the lights. I have lights all in my home. I
Yeah.
don't put them all outside for other people to see because I like to look at them myself inside my home. Right. I celebrate Christ every day. Every morning I wake up and open up my eyes. I am prayerful and thankful and
Thankful.
grateful
Mhm.
and doing my Bible study the very first time. That's the first thing that I do. Right. And so if you deem that that's what it's supposed to be, that's what society has said, or whoever made this date on the date that it is, great,
Right.
fine, not knocking
Right.
anybody
Not
else
at all.
to do. All I'm saying is don't feel
Take
obligated.
the pressure off.
Take the pressure off. You can make something just as well as you could buy something,
Or you can say something.
or you can say something.
You can
You
say
can
something.
say something, right? Because we have enough stress
And
going
enough
on,
stuff.
then we don't have to add to it doing what somebody else wants us to do.
Mhm.
Now, if you love decorating the outside of your house and that gives you joy, by all means,
Yeah.
do that.
I and I think what we're talking about is the stress of being feeling a sense of obligation to others, something to being obligated to something other than yourself. And
Yes.
piggybacking on, on what Antoine was saying, it's like choosing me. And that's when the holiday times or the end of the year becomes so stressful, is because people stop choosing them, or if they've ever chose them. They
Right.
really have a tendency not to choose us
Themselves.
during
Yeah.
the holiday
Yeah.
season, and it's promoted to not choose you. It's promoted to think about other people, and that's great. If it was not attached to capitalism, it would be like an amazing idea. But
Right.
the reality is that the stress and the pressure, I hear it, Michelle hears it, we hear
Right.
it in our offices, and then we hear it when relationships are in a shamble, and now I got to go and I got to be somebody that I don't want to be.
Yeah.
In a connection that I'm really not even in, but I got to pretend like I'm in a connection.
Yes.
That's a lot of work and a lot of energy.
It
And
is.
but when you start to work on you and choose you, you can bow out gracefully
Yes.
or
Yes.
sit gracefully. You can sit in it gracefully too.
Mhm.
But just making a choice to be okay with being okay is
And
just
I
a
think this
beautiful thing.
year, I've always thought this way, but I really think this year has really made me more aware. Like we're not able to be around our loved ones in the way
Yeah.
that we are accustomed to doing.
Yes. Yes.
Gift is not the thing. Can
Mm,
I hear your voice? Can I,
yes.
and of course, again, if you want to do that, we're not telling people what to do and how to
No.
do it. And I'm not saying that I'm not getting gifts. I'm saying I'm
Mm,
being practical. What is really important to me is if I get to see your face, if I get to
mhm,
talk to you via the telephone, if that's what we need to
mhm,
do, if we need to gather in small gatherings to see our loved ones, we are in a different place. So I am in a different place.
mhm.
I no longer feel the pressure of doing things the way society says that we need to do those things. And that's with the holidays, that's with anything. I
Mhm,
no longer feel that pressure. And we're telling you guys, do what you want to do
mhm.
and what brings you peace. Jasmine says, I found the self care and rejection conversations enlightening.
Yeah.
Things don't stay nice if you don't put in the effort to do the necessary things to keep them up. And the same applies to us. We
Mhm.
sometimes like to believe we are invincible, but we also have to remember we are human and are deserving of the effort, time, and luxury we give to others. And we are deserving of that from ourselves. My
Yes.
takeaway. Thank you,
That's
Jasmine.
very good. And it's
Thank
the truth.
you. And it's
Mhm,
true. And it is so true. Yes.
mhm. It's
Yes.
true.
Um, the other thing that I'm excited about is that, and yesterday I got a chance to write down my intentions and what I want to manifest in the coming year and in the future beyond this coming year. And I'm going to be doing vision boarding on Thursday. My family and I were going to be doing some vision boarding, and I'm excited about. I always get excited about that. And I have every vision board that I've ever created over the last few years, and I'll revisit them to see, like, did this manifest? Did this come to be? Um,
Right.
and we'll talk a little bit about that, you guys. But I'm really excited about that. I always get excited when it's time to like write down my intentions and what I want to happen
Mhm.
and the way I want to move in the next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excited about that too. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big one. I always talk about it in January, but it's a thing and we're doing it. So yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And so what one other thing we wanted to talk about was new beginnings, moving forward, healing and how to move, how to become most successful, how to plan the next year. Steps
Hmm.
to plan your most successful year, if you will. And some of you guys might be doing this, and some of this might be repetitive. Hey, Josephina Bird, Robeson, not Bird, sorry, Tweety. Hi, my niece is on here. Lisa's daughter. Thank you for chiming
Hi,
in with us.
Josephina.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so you might be already doing some of these things, but it's a recap again, and we want to make sure that if you didn't get it before, you get it this time. So the first thing is like to reflect on the current year or the past year. In January 2020 will be past. So really reflecting on the year and not just the struggles, because all things work together for good. All
Yes.
things.
Triple underscore all thing. It is true.
It is true. It is true. And so reflect back on the year, the things that, and not in regret,
Hmm.
not in regret. Maybe some things that were done or not done that you may not necessarily want to do or not do for the next year, but not in regret. I
Or
have.
here's a process. I'll
Mhm.
cut you off real quick. I'm so sorry, but a
No.
process just popped in my head. So if you do write down the struggles of 2020 and uh the struggles, and if there are regrets, then on the same put a line on the page, and on the other side, how can I be grateful for this? Be intentional
Mm.
about finding the gratitude in what was the struggle or what you imagined to be a struggle, because everything is working for our highest good. So it's really not a struggle. But what you imagine to be a struggle, what you imagine to be regret, what you imagine to be so hard, on the other side of the paper, write the gratitude about it. Write
Mhm.
the good that has come out of it for you. It's going to be so amazing when you do that. Just when I think about it, it's going to be so good. So that's a process that everybody can do between now and New Year's.
Yeah.
Change your paradigm about your experience of 2020. just like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I have on my mirror, I have a mirror right behind my computer, and it says this is a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a win-win. So even in the struggles and the regret, where's the win?
Mm-hmm.
You see the win in it. And
Mm-hmm.
you're not minimizing it if you can't, right? We just kind of giving ideas.
Mm-hmm. Like especially for people, because I don't want to minimize people who have lost
Loved
loved
ones.
ones.
That's
You
what
know,
makes
'cause-
me that, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't want to minimize that experience at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to minimize that, but look for the blessing because there's a blessing. Feel for the blessing. If you can't see it, feel for it.
Mhm.
Feel for the blessing in the struggle, and understand that if you don't see the blessing in it now, be anticipating the blessing in it later,
Mhm.
because there will be a blessing in it. The blessing is in it now, but we just can't see it. Sometimes you can't see it because we're in it,
Right.
but when we get a different vision
You
and a
can't see the
different,
forest for the trees.
right, when we can see it from another lane, another plane, then it's like, oh my God, yeah. Like
Yeah.
now that makes sense. Like, okay, 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 okay.
And it's great that you say that. I saw something today that said if you put a dot on a clear, clean piece of paper, what do you see? Do you see the dot or do you see all the potential around it?
Around it. Mhm,
Around it. So changing our view. Yeah. And sometimes
mhm,
when we're in it, we just see the dot because we can't see outside of it.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Absolutely. Another thing is to let things go
Yeah.
physically, mentally. I know that in the beginning, I started out in our Heads Up Mental Clarity Facebook group of doing a challenge. And one of the challenge was letting things go. If that's cleaning out your emails, if that's letting go of relationships that no longer work for you or for that person, whatever it is. Because what I read in my Bible study one morning this week is if you hold on to it so tight, then that your hand is so closed, there is no way to get whatever the blessing is. If you open it up and open your hand, if you open up, let it go, then there's room for what's to come.
Mhm,
But you can't see it, you're not getting it, you don't recognize it or whatever because you haven't let go of something, you know?
mhm,
And that's one of my things to be intentional about. What do I need to let go? It could be a thing, it can be a characteristic, it can be, it could be I need, more discipline. I need to let go of fear. It doesn't always have to be a tangible thing that
mhm,
to let go, but it certainly can be a tangible thing. So
mhm, mhm,
letting things go, so physically, emotionally, so that other things and more promising blessings and things can get in.
And this is where the part where I was saying that it's not an easy task to do, but the awareness of it is
Mm-hmm.
such an amazing starting point. Just being aware. Like if I'm judgmental, if I have guilt and shame behind
Mm-hmm.
something, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
angry and I feel like I got a right to be angry, that work right there, like ooh, that space right there. How can I release anger and still be okay? Like I
Yes.
can release anger, because sometimes we feel like if I hold on to the anger, then I hold that person hostage, and I don't know what we think behind holding on
Well,
to
I don't
stuff.
know if
But
I don't know if we think I'm holding them hostage, but that's exactly what's happening. You think you
well,
still
yeah,
them, right? But that's exactly what happens. And then in the end of that thing, you only hurting yourself because that
right,
can go on and move on, and depending on where they are in their lives, and can
right,
living, and you stuck right there with
right.
anger.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So just and so I say that to say that, yeah, you hear people say let it go, but the reality is that it's rough, it's hard, but you
Mhm.
got to be aware that it has to be done, and then that's when you seek something greater than yourself to say I need help. I want to let this go in this minute, and then
Mhm.
the next minute come, I need help. I want to let this go in this
Yeah.
minute.
Like being, it's like, being addicted to something,
Mhm,
right? You're gonna get the urge
mhm,
to be pissed, to be angry.
Mm-hmm.
have that drink, whatever it is you need to let go, you're gonna get the urge. And so moment to moment until it gets to be hour to hour and then day to day,
Mm-hmm.
where you have to be intentional about, I want to let this go.
Yeah.
But can I
Yeah.
tell you how sweet it is when you change your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you, it's, it's not always easy. We recognize that. But can I tell you, but it is in a sense of when you finally decide to change your mind, how that thing will shift for you,
Mm-hmm.
how that
Mm-hmm.
will shift for you. Max says COVID-19 was a blessing in all caps and explanation points.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I say that too. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I,
The next thing is define who you are. Um, Sit with yourself in meditation.
mm-hmm.
Who you are. What do you like? What you do is not who you are.
Mm-hmm.
What you do is not who you are. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying define who you are. Figure out who you are. Sit quiet. Somebody says prayer is you talking to God, and meditation is Him talking to you. Sometimes sit quiet and let Him speak. Let's figure
Mm-hmm.
out who you are.
Or and it's not really figuring out. It's just becoming and being aware because you are who you are. It's
Yes,
already there.
but
It's
you
just
need
that
to
no,
know.
you
Right.
need to know, and that's what the quietness is for. The quietness is to be reminded, and that even that quietness is a form of letting go too,
Yes.
because it takes so much energy in the beginning, moment by moment, to
Yeah.
let go of who I think I am.
Mm-hmm. Or
I
who
have
I've
to
been
let
told, or
go.
who I've been told, and I think that
Yeah.
way because a lot of times I've been told that's who I am.
Yeah, yeah. And so letting that go, and that's scary because it's like jumping out of an airplane. It's
Go ahead,
literally,
sister, talk about jumping out that airplane. She know y'all because she done jumped out of airplane.
yeah, I was gonna say it's literally just like that. It's literally like falling floor, and then just like, wow, like if this parachute doesn't open,
But it is,
it,
right?
this is it. Like that's what it feels like when you are saying, I want to know who I am. I know, I mean, like for real. I really want to know who I am.
Yeah.
And meditation, like it's like that. And it's wonderful once you get past the next minute and next minute and next
Right.
minute.
Right.
But it's work. And it's not it's work, but it is so the reward is so
Yes.
amazing because you are not who you think you are. And to me, it's like, oh my God, like, oh.
Right.
So, I can't even, if I cannot, that's going to be my thing for 2021 is meditation. I want the whole world to meditate. And
Mm-hmm.
that's
Oh,
what
we
I
gotta
feel
do. We
like.
gotta do a meditation. We gotta do a lesson on how to do it, what it is. Yeah,
Meditation is just
that was
so,
awesome. I've already been told that I should create on YouTube a meditation for people to be able to follow.
mm,
We'll see.
nice.
People just speaking all into my life without my permission, but we'll see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next thing is I've already kind of talked about it is create a vision board. Um,
Yeah.
for me, there's one behind me. There's one on the wall behind me. A little bit further behind me, there's one up here in front of me. I have them everywhere. But this one's going to be a little bit different in that my vision boards, usually I have everything on like the one board. And this year I want to make a what they call a portable one. So I'm going to have, and the way they do it, the way I've seen it explained is using half file those manila folders and cutting them in half. But I'm going to use these smaller poster boards and tape them together.
Okay.
And so there'll be a section for a family, finances, fitness, future. I think it's 5 things that I'm going to be, and each board will be an example of what that. So if it's finances, that everything, and I've already written this out. Now it's
Mm,
just a matter of being creative with it, because I've watched things happen. Now, let me be clear that yes, manifestation is a thing. It happens. You write it down, be intentional about it, but you also got to put in the work toward it too.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put it where you can see it, Stephanie and I did a vision board workshop. And when you put it where you can see it, then you are more apt to work toward it. But let me also tell you this, a lot of times when we put things on the board, those are things we're going to work on. That's what we say we want to work on anyway. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be creating a vision board. And it meant my stuff manifests all the time. In 2018, this board behind me says, I'm going to grab this down for a second. I don't know if you can see this board, but in 2018, first of all, you know, I'm all natural. It says, be your own boss. This was 2018. It said, game on, realize your plans, empower you, tranquility, hear the ocean. The energy is just very special. This place is sacred. And I put 50 something, 50 in a question mark. So this was in 2018, 2 years ago. And let me just tell you that I am my own boss. I was able to travel a couple of times out of the country in 2018. Those things were not planned. It was like in my mind, that's what I knew I wanted to do.
Right.
I had not, while when I did this vision board, I had not gone to get my tickets to go to Cancun or Punta Cana or
Right.
anything like that. So that thing became a reality, you know, for me. So I watch my boards and how I have how things have manifested because I work toward them. Okay, so create your vision board. Um, you have anything to say about that one, Stephanie?
No, I do. I got mine over. I got my backdrop, but I have the vision boards too. So, and I attest. All my vision boards used to have pictures on them, a lot of them, and then I moved to words because my love language is words of affirmation, and so I moved to words, and they face my desk that I work back there. And it's one of them is fearless. One no hesitation, fearless. There's a bunch of words, but when I look at them, those experiences have come to pass to move my character. That's what the one I had for 2017 and 18, I think. And so I can attest to it. I've done the picture ones, and I still have my picture ones, and I have lived in the houses that I've put on my vision board. I've had the desks and the different experiences that I put on my vision board. And right now I'm just doing finances and reinventing myself, myself, myself.
Yes.
And so right now that's where I'm at. And I attest to vision boards. I believe in them too. Yeah, it's like magic. It is, and yeah, that's all
And
I
the
can say.
Bible, and it's biblical. The Bible says, write it
Write
down.
the vision and make it plain so that
Write
those
the
that read it
vision
can
and
run with it. Mm-hmm.
plain. Yes. Um, then this other one, I found this Japanese saying, and it's ikigai, and it just means reason for being. So find your ikigai, find your reason for being.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can find that, you know, if you're quiet and, you know, I guess another way we say it is purpose and in your quiet time, you
Mm-hmm.
know, look back over what you've done and
Mm-hmm.
see if it brought you joy
Mm-hmm.
and what you felt and how you felt when doing it while doing that. And 'cause maybe you're already have your reason for being.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
focus on that. So it says balance, and it's just my notes. I keep looking at you guys. Balance is found at center where passions and talents interact with things that the world need and is willing to pay for.
That's good.
Sometimes we do what we do because we do what we do, and we don't have to be paid for it. But the world be willing to pay for it though,
Mm-hmm.
right? So find the balance. What's your center? So find your ikigai, your
Mm-hmm.
reason for being, your purpose. Um, Sometimes let fear guide you because we like fight it. We're fearful, and a lot of times we're fearful of the failure that's going to propel us forward. And
Yep.
it's okay to let it guide you in that way,
Mm-hmm. That was
right?
a big thing for me. Just being afraid of the fear of failing.
Mhm.
And I'm a firstborn, so I struggle. I'm a recovering perfectionist. That's what I'm proclaiming today. But I struggle with being perfect, getting it right, knowing all the facts, and being error free. So
Mhm.
in that you play it safe.
Yes.
One of the beauties or life lessons that I'm constantly reminding myself of is jumping out of that Falcon airplane. Is that even if I, what I had to say to myself, if I don't survive this, because nobody knew I did it. I didn't tell a soul I was jumping out of a plane until after I did it. And if I don't survive this, I have to believe that this world is going to be okay without me. And so that's a
Yes.
lesson for myself almost all the time when I decide to do something, because fear is paralyzing.
Yes.
It's the fear of getting it wrong. It ain't the fear
It's
of
not
doing
the fear, right? It's the fear of getting it wrong or
it
being
wrong.
judged for it.
Yes, and the fear of judgment. And becoming more and more familiar with who I am, the less I really care about, the less I am impacted, because I still care right now. Hopefully next year this time I'll be saying I don't care what people think. But the impact of how much I allow what other people think about my
Yeah.
choices, the judgment of it, is something. It's that fear too.
Yeah.
And so the judgment piece. But what I think, I'm gonna say this, the life lesson for me is that the less I judge, the less other people's judgment
Mm,
matters to me.
that's good. That's
And so
good.
I am not, I try my best to not be judgmental, or I try my best to be compassionate, or see, well, maybe such and such on the other side of another person. And I try my best to practice that.
Mhm.
That is intentional. So
Mhm.
yeah, so fear is big. And
Yeah.
fear of failing, but just fail forward. What
Just
else?
go for it. Just like you fall off that plane, just do
Yep.
it.
Let's
Right?
do that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Um, Set yearly goals and
Yes.
break them down into monthly, daily. I taught as a school counselor, I had to teach the young people, the high schoolers, goals, setting goals. And it's one of the workshops that I would do. And you break them up to little things. Oh, I want an A. Okay. How that's going to happen? Let's break that down. What
Yeah.
do you
The
need that
steps
to
that you
get?
need.
Oh, well, I need to pass the exam, the final exam. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Break that down some more.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to pass it? Well, I need to study. Well, I need to do my homework. So break the yearly goal down into daily goals. What are you going to do daily to accomplish what you want to accomplish in the year? Because you know what happens when you don't break it down? At the end of the year, you have a goal that you never thought about again. So
Mm-hmm.
if you break it down, you're going to live it, you're going to practice it, you're going to work toward it. Okay, so setting yearly goals. Um, Upgrade your habits. I like that one.
I like that. I don't
Form
quite know what it means, but I like that.
new habits. You don't have to do what you always been doing, especially if it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, get rid of it and get new habits. It's
You,
okay.
I like
Um, think that we've been saying this all night. It's okay to get rid of
Oh yeah.
the
Mhm.
old habits. Okay.
The
Hey, Karen, thanks
mindsets.
for coming in. It's okay to get rid of the old habits and get new habits. But when you get rid of the old and you start to incorporate the new, ask yourself why. What's
Mm-hmm.
the reason? So it makes sense for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, this is huge. Use a planner. It's huge, but not
Oh, I got one for Christmas.
right. I'm sitting here like, use a planner. Use a planner.
Yeah.
Yes, and
I'm gonna go first.
I let me get, oh my gosh, you guys, my planner is always written in, always, always, always. I do my Bible lessons in my planner. I do, and let me just be clear, not every page looks like that because I'm still working on it. But I do my Bible lessons in my planner. If I listen to a motivational speaker or something like that, I write that down for the day in that planner the same day that I watched it, because when I visit it, I go through it. It, reminds me of what I learned that day. And let me say, if I don't use my planner for a day, the day is off.
It is. It is. And I can't, this is my favorite. These little, lines, sticky notes.
Yes.
I make to do. I wake up, make it to the do list. I go to bed. I got a pink one by my bed, a purple one here, and I think I got a green one back on my desk over there. Because I'm always snatching them off. My mother's the queen of to-do lists too. She do grocery lists, but they are running all the time. But yeah, I just snatch them off, throw them in my purse. And so when I go out and about, and I went to a store today. I told you this, Michelle, earlier.
You told me when to the store.
I went to a store today to pick up something. Didn't take my list in.
Oh, no, you didn't tell me that.
Then $32. I did not get what was on my list.
Right.
I left the list in the car when it's typically in my purse. So these are like amazing.
Yes.
To have.
Yeah, it is. And my mom makes lists, and I'm not sure if she keeps a planner, and I've never seen her writing a planner. But she's got to be keeping some type of system, because I've never ever seen her unorganized with any business. Like if I don't ever, if that's going to be one thing that I will never forget. If we are going to the store, she got a list. Let me
and my
tell you.
mom has calendars. And I grew up with calendars, you know, those big calendars, you write everything in it, the light bill, the gas bill, so-and-so's birthday. You know, that used to be the planner, you know.
I did the big, you know, the desk calendar that you would get. I would order that and put it on a table in a dining room, not the dining room, just a little table off to the side. And my kids will tell you they grew up with, if it's not, we have a motto, if it's not on the calendar, they would say it's not happening.
Don't happen. And even Mariah has a beautiful calendar right in her wall. I thought that was just phenomenal.
And she has her
right there when you first walk in. So when she get ready to leave out, she can just look, you know. But I think it's cool. Like, it's just, I don't know how people live without
this. And right now, something's happening. Like we had an appointment today. And Monique sent out a text and was like, hey, don't forget, we're doing XYZ at this time. Mariah texted back and said, put it on the calendar, because we share a family calendar within the iPhone. She texted back, put it in the calendar. Because we're more apt to, it's going to happen. You're not going to forget about it if you put it in the calendar. And I told my, you know, like my kids were all 4 years apart, all of them. That means I had a different level for every kid, which means different activities. So you need to come in with that sheet of paper from school. We put it on the calendar. Yes. I don't care if it's a game. I don't care what it is. If it's not on the calendar, we're not doing it, because I cannot operate like that. And so watching someone else use a structure, I think very helpful. And I help go through the whole Franklin Covey.
Oh my God.
That do that. Yes. My mom was already writing lists and things like that. And so having a system is huge in getting what you want to get done.
It is huge. Yeah, and it feels so good at the end of the night.
Yes.
It does. Because you remember, if you don't put workout on the books, you don't work out.
Yes. No, you don't. Review your goals. When you write them down, don't just write them down and close the planner. Look at them, right? Monthly, do monthly check-ins, quarterly reviews, adjusted if you need. It's okay to change a goal. It's okay to say I put too many goals on my plate. That's not going to happen, or whatever. You know, and then make a bucket list. So if we can, you know, unless Steph, you have some other things. One of the things I want us to end with is make a bucket list. And a bucket list is something that you do that brings you joy and you have fun. We want you to have fun.
Please have fun. You better have fun.
Make a bucket list, you know, and it don't have to, you don't have to be jumping out of no plane, friend. Your friend want to jump out of a plane, but I don't see it. No time soon.
I'm ready. Oh my God.
Zip lining as high as an airplane can go is probably and I've done that a couple of times. But yeah, so just make a list, have fun with it. Whatever it is. If it's jumping out of a plane, great. If it's ice skating for the first time, whatever.
Do
Yes. Make a list, things to do for fun.
And let me just say, I know it's COVID out there, but I feel I've sat myself down and wrote some stuff out for the year, what I'm going to do, COVID or no COVID, even if I have to go to another state and make it happen. People are doing it.
Yes, they are.
People are doing it. Nothing has stopped.
Nothing has
So
stopped.
please understand, if there's something out there you want to do, you want to go bowling, there's a bowling alley open. You can go bowling.
And the world has found a creative way to make things happen. Somebody said to me, I said, oh, we always do the zoo lights and we're not going to be able to do it this year. And somebody said, oh, I went to Lincoln. And I said, how'd you go to Lincoln Park? And they were like, because they only let so many people in.
They
do it by the times. Like you have a time to be there.
Yeah.
And if you're not there at your time, then you don't get in. You cannot be late. So they have designated times for people to come and for you to leave. You know, those things. So people are being creative about.
Yeah, enjoy your life.
Yeah, people are being creative about it. You know, and, you know, wear your mask, wear your shield, wash your hands, and all that great stuff. And whatever you're not comfortable with doing, don't do.
Right.
But what we are saying is, if there's something that you can do in a safe manner and you want to do that,
do it.
Do it. You can't do it outside and you can figure it out creatively to how to do it inside.
Yeah, have fun.
We had a few months ago, we had what is it? A hunt. A
scavenger hunt?
Scavenger hunt. I had scavenger hunt for the kids and my family via Zoom. They won gift cards. Right. So we even had the grown people. We ain't calling no names. We even had the grown people trying to help them out, trying to help them and find the stuff. But
my girlfriend and I have done karaoke over the Zoom. We've done a tasting, wine tasting, our own wine in our own houses. But we did a Zoom little happy hour Zoom. Just have fun, because there's something about that vibration of feeling good is what really kind of keeps you alive. It keeps the brain alive too. So please try to have fun. No, don't try. Have fun.
That's the thing. So for 2021, I've already done it in 2020. I'm in a accountability group that is really great. And try is not even in the vocabulary. You know, people are like, well, at least give it a try. Or, you know, we don't even understand the signal that we give to our brains. And say that are actually negative, that we don't think are negative. And the one thing for me was, I would always say, try, right? Because try again. Just make the effort. No, I'm going to do it, because when you say try, you allow the brain an out. So I don't say try anymore. I'm going to do it or I'm not. So do it.
Yep.
Do something fun. Peace and blessings. Steph, if you don't have anything else.
I do not.
Peace and blessings. Thank you, guys.
Happy New Year.
Hour, 15 minutes, and we're at 1 hour and 7. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. Blessings. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Enjoy your family or whatever it is that you're going to be doing this holiday, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Stay safe.
Have like the little blowers and the little
noise makers,
glasses.
Right.
It will be our very first segment in the new year of 2021. Thank you guys. Thank you, Steph. I am Michelle Bird. You guys know all the places that you can. Well, I'll say it. Might have somebody new on there. You can find me on Michelle Wallace Bird on Facebook. Heads Up Mental Clarity on YouTube. You can find me at chicagocompasscounseling.com. That's my website. You can find me on Psychology Today. You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Bird LPC. I think I covered all the places that you can find me. And you can email me at michelledbird@gmail.com. Steph.
And Stephanie McCain, Facebook, Stephanie McCain, Psychology Today. It's Stephanie McCain. And then my email is smccain, MFT, Marriage and Family Therapist @gmail.com. Lamplight Counseling Services in Independence, Ohio. And then if you just type in Stephanie McCain, I'll be right there, MFT. And you'll find me at Lamplight. And Instagram is the same, SM McCain, MFT.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right.
Namaste.
Bye.
Bye.